I don't even know how to react to this as a Google employee or as like a human. There's a film that came out in 2013 called The Internship. And it's about two salesmen, Billy and Nick, who basically become unemployed and they look to get a job. And where they look to get a job? Well, they don't actually look to get a job at all. They look to get an internship at Google. And basically this film explores that entire experience from them applying to doing the internship and all a little bit of insight into what it's like to work in the Google office. So as a Google employee myself, I thought, what better film to react to than The Internship? So without further ado, cue the reaction.
You know, I feel like our whole generation are sheep that's been sold a bad bill of goods. Like we were told, you know, go to college, get good grades.
Well, you didn't go to college.
It's true.
I'm saying in theory, in concept, our generation was told that you go to college, you get a job, you get a mortgage, and you know, here we did everything the way we were supposed to, and what do we get for it? Where's our thanks? Nothing.
Full credit for Owen Wilson for just like sitting in this the whole time with just like a bit of tissue up his nose. Yeah. Oh, this is a big bit.
Okay. What are you gonna do, Bill?
Who else has done this search? When I was at university and I was looking for jobs, I'm like, jobs, no skills. What skills do I have? I don't know. Jobs with sales skills.
Come on, Billy.
Also, how much has a Google search changed? Like how it looks? Damn, it's changed a lot. Just in case you didn't know how to spell Google, you know, Google. But this was not also how I wanted to get my job at Google, just to clarify, but it's a great scene nonetheless.
Billy, I'm with a customer. Thank
Sure.
you for me. Maybe start off on this.
Yeah, just lay it down.
Yeah, come here for a second. Hey, what are you doing here?
Listen, I got it. I've seen the future, and it's beautiful for us.
I don't know what you got, but I got a job here, and I don't want to lose it. Now, can we talk about this later?
No, we can't talk about it later. The future doesn't know later.
What are you talking? All the future is later. That's literally what the future is. It's later. What are you talking about?
Nah, I quite like that quote. The future doesn't know later. Like, do what you want to do now. Like, if you want to have an impact in the world or change something or you don't like your job, well, don't do it later. Do it now.
Google.
Google.
Yeah, the place is amazing. They got nap pods.
True.
Got massage rooms.
True.
They got a volleyball court. They got the
This is all true. Yeah, we have all of those things.
whole nine. It's ranked as the greatest place to work at in America.
Yeah, I know.
I think that might be still true today. It's definitely the greatest place to work in Ireland, where they have like a big EU headquarters. I'm pretty sure it's at least in the top 5 in America still.
It's a technology company, a field we know jack squat about.
Look, Google needs us, and Google wants us.
They do? You sweet son of a bitch. You got us a job at Google?
Well, it's not actually a job.
What do you mean not an actual job?
Well, it's an interview for an internship that has a better than not chance of materializing into a job.
And to be fair, like a lot of the people that I know that did internships did actually land jobs at Google. So yeah, an internship at Google is an incredibly good chance of getting a job there.
Really? Now you're making me very angry. You want me to leave my job to go for an interview, not for a job, but for an internship that may or may not lead to a job?
Like, aren't you tired of asking for just enough to get by?
Yes.
I want to do something that matters. I want to have a life that I'm excited about, and that's great. Nick, I want us to go to California, and I want us to get these jobs at Google.
I'm going to speak to a manager.
What? What's the bet that she's called Karen? Any guesses?
So we're meeting our interviewer in here?
No, not in here. We're meeting them in here. It's a hangout. This is how people do it now, Nikki. They have their interviews on the internet.
Just to think as well, like in the pandemic, like I've pretty much done every single meeting on like Google Meet, as it's now called. Like I've done every single meeting remotely. At this time, like doing this, like on a video call, this was like kind of, I guess, cutting edge. So it's no wonder that these guys didn't know what it was or had never used it before, I guess. So yeah, it's not too bad on them.
Like it. Now it says here that the internship is only for college students, so...
Guess who's way ahead of you? That's why I enrolled us at the University of Phoenix. That proud online institution. Go Fighting Phoenixes.
Nice. Wait, you put my major down as physics? Why would you put my major down as... I don't know shit.
Don't do this. Don't line your CV. Yeah. Yeah, especially at Google. I would not advise doing this.
Physics scares me.
These guys paint the corner of the plate with the pitches. They're not going to come straight down the middle.
This is the problem when you watch a Google film. Your bloody Google Nest goes off halfway through. We'll just unplug that.
Ask you about physics. It's too obvious. I took it off the table.
Good. Hide in plain sight.
Yes. Okay, here they are. And when I hit this, they'll be able to see us. So come on and get in here close so we can...
Do you know what I think is so good about this scene? Is the amount of times that I still have calls like this with people today in 2021, and they're still not necessarily knowing how to use the video calls. But it is what it is. Everyone has to learn at some point, right?
See the webcam. See how small the webcam is? No, get cheek to cheek. Nick, come here, cheek to cheek.
But don't crowd me.
Nick, get cheek to cheek.
Will you get your cheek? I get you.
But I
understand that, but here we go.
Oh, and thank goodness for ultra-wide cameras in today's world.
Just go like a
Okay, don't
Put
hit
your
the button
fucking
yet.
cheek next to mine.
I get it.
We can see you guys.
Okay, great.
You got us?
Hi, my name is Billy.
Oh, we can hear you fine as well.
Oh, great.
Good.
Billy McMahon.
Nick Campbell.
I'm Benjamin.
Allison.
We're thirsty too.
Okay, slow down there, camper. I'm not an ATM. I got a job interview here. Thank you.
We'll be back.
Easy.
Are you in a library?
You know, we're in a
This is
program
beautiful
called
little kids
Yeah,
here.
Kids Helping Kids program. One of the things we're involved in, where we take suburban kids and we teach them what it's like to be homeless.
What's it called?
Oh, it's called
Attitude adjustment.
attitude adjustment, and that's
Just remember though, if you say something like this in an interview, they will 100% look it up and find out everything they can about it, just to, not that they're trying to verify its legitimacy, but they're just interested in it and a little bit more interested in you as well. So just be careful.
we are today. We're helping the kids, and to be honest with you, we did the interview here because we wanted to help out, and also we don't have webcams for a computer.
If you don't have a webcam on your computer, what type of computer do you use for your coding ability?
Coding ability.
Under computer skills, you put C++.
That's actually a C+.
Well, for anyone who's watching and doesn't know, C++ is a very popular programming language. So this was a bit of a cock up from them.
What's that?
Well, the second plus is to reflect my attitude of how I felt about the C++, but it's a C+, it's a typing class. You know, same principle, just not the engine inside the baby there. But it was more like Quick Brown Fox. You know, putting your hands on the base and crushing it like that. But that helped me out a lot as I started my journey into computers, because I already knew where to put my hands clearly.
We're going to ask you a few questions that some of our candidates find a little bit odd.
Let's get
No
weird.
judgment, shoot.
You're shrunken down to the size of nickels and dropped to the bottom of a blender. What do you do?
Is there anything else in the blender?
Google don't do these things anymore. Even though they are quite hilarious, I'm pretty certain that they don't do them for any interviews. At least they didn't in mine. So I don't think this is a thing anymore, but this is nonetheless an excellent scene.
I don't know.
Well, that's gonna make a difference.
Yes,
Are there
yes,
ice cubes
yes,
to climb
yes.
on? Are we working with a daiquiri here?
We're throwing a little
making a
rum
smoothie?
in. It's been a long week. Maybe we want to let these little guys live a little.
Okay, for the sake of the argument, let's say it's empty.
Sure.
Well, in that case, it's easy then.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm sorry?
If we're shrunk down to the size of a nickel and there's no liquid in the blender, we go ahead and put it on our back. So you take her flat on your back like
Right. You
this.
just lay back,
Lace
enjoy
it up
that
as a board, light
breeze.
as a feather,
Pretend it's a fan.
And let those
Okay,
back
once this
blades
blend-
whip all around
Good.
you like this. It's like getting an MRI.
Once this blender's on, it's on forever.
It's on forever.
Respectfully, I got to disagree. We sold blenders, and even the best model in the world is only going to run nonstop for
Even
what,
the
Billy?
Germans, the
Yeah.
Germans.
Oh, this is so good. I mean, I think what's kind of weird about this is like their answer is so weird that it would probably do well at the time of a Google interview, because it was just like so out there, and probably no other candidate had thought of no other candidate had probably thought of this approach. and particularly like the knowledge of the fact that the blender would stop working and they could just slide out. I don't know.
Even the German model, even one of those Braun ones, only going to run software maybe 10 or 11 hours. So we're getting out, and when we do, we're better off for it, because whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Well, let's just go ahead and big picture this for a second, if I can. Just like the founders of Google big pictured Googling, it's not so much getting out of the blender, it's what happens next. That's the question.
You've got 2 nickel-sized men free in the world. Think of the possibilities.
I mean, on top of my head, and I'm just spitballing here.
Swimming.
Sunglass repair? We'd be hell on those little screws.
Maybe stick us in those submarines that they put in people's bodies to fight.
Okay, maybe not this far.
That's cutting edge right there.
Also, remember Google Plus? Look at that. Wow.
That's not a real thing, the submarines.
No.
Wait a minute. I thought we were stuck in a blender. Now we're saving lives? What?
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 Let me just recap this for you real quick. We started off in a blender.
Yeah.
Now we're saving lives. What?
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 Wait a minute. We were stuck in a blender.
What a journey.
And now we're saving lives?
You
What?
guys led us to this. Thank you.
I think we've gotten a little far afield.
Just a little off topic.
Allie, I'll get inside you and I'll fight for you.
Oh, thank you.
Which
I
one of you?
appreciate that. But
Which one of you is physics?
Mr. Campbell, you could maybe expound on this from a physics aspect.
Physics. Here. Listen, I could bend your ear about physics and various physical phenomenon, but the truth is we were in a blender. We lost our jobs, we'd given up. So I think we already answered the question when we took this interview. We got ourselves out, and here we are.
If you guys really want to know what happens when you take 2 guys out of a blender, I'm sorry, Allison, is it?
Yes.
Then give us a shot. And I think you'd be happy that you did.
Who is our next applicant? Our 2 daiquiri men.
So, what are we thinking? Dana?
So it's not necessarily quite like this, but when you do apply to Google, there is like, obviously depending upon the role you go for, you have like multiple different interviews. And there is like a hiring committee that comes together pretty much in a similar way to this to kind of discuss each candidate and what they thought. And I believe they're like also independent of the actual interviewees as well. So there's no bias or anything like that.
You're kidding, right? No.
Eleanor?
They seem like really nice guys, but I don't think so.
Okay, moving on.
Can I say something?
You can. You will. We will resent you for wasting our time, but please don't let that stop you.
It's just
And they're probably nowhere near this mean either.
diversity is in our DNA, right? I thought the goal here was to find people with a different way of thinking.
There's plenty of people with a different way of thinking. It doesn't mean that we have to hire them.
Very good point, Dana. Moving on.
I'm sorry, but you read their resumes, right? They have more years of sales and life experience than the age of most of our interns. Not to mention, our final judgment is always based on the layover test, right? Who would you rather be stuck next to at an airport bar for a 6-hour delay? The 10 millionth kid who knows that if you shrink, your strength to weight ratio allows you to jump way higher? Duh. Or the out-of-the-box thinkers who turn being stuck in a blender into an advantage.
We need everyone to see, we need someone to literally see everyone like that. What a great way of thinking, huh? And this scene also as well is literally just the biggest, best depiction of The Office, and pretty much 98% of what you see now is all as it is and as it looks in California. Obviously there's been a few updates since about 10 years ago when this was filmed, but The Office is, yeah, pretty much like this.
Like you should. Just say you never had it so good.
So it begins.
Here we go.
Place is incredible.
Where do we check in?
Let's ask somebody here. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, excuse me. Do you...
Oh dear. I wonder if this is going to be like this when there actually is Waymo, like self-driving cars around. But maybe not. But honestly, this film is like quite old, and they still had the self-driving cars when they filmed this. So, damn, yeah, that technology has come a long way since, and obviously still in development. But damn.
Really? It's scary because it's new. Let's go check in. Head towards those big letters there. What's up, family?
Sergey Brin, just going past there. I love the British red phone box reference in here, just pointing it out.
Morning.
Hi.
What's the damage here?
Nothing.
For these?
Free.
These are complimentary.
Complimentary. Free. Whatever you want.
What you're saying is whatever I walk away with here
It's free.
doesn't, yeah.
You can have bananas.
I probably should, only because it's a great way to, this is the most important meal of the day.
Take 2, they're free.
No, I know, but for my day, I need it.
Yeah.
What about the bagels and all that?
This is exactly like me. There's a phrase in Google when you start, and it's like everyone gains the Google stone, which is so basically as soon as you start at Google, within the first month you're likely to put on a stone, just because everyone goes crazy because of the free food and free drink at basically any time you want it. So
It's free. Anything you want.
If you're insisting, twist my arm, I'll have a couple of them.
Sure.
Like four of them?
4.
Or just whatever it is. What about 5 of them?
you know, just for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for later, for the weekend.
Free 2.
Why don't you go ahead and make it 7 then? If you want to whip with some of the other drinks, do you have a to-go cup, like a guzzler? Do you have like a redneck guzzler with a straw?
Hey, the Noogler Hat scene. Got my Noogler hat here. Just to verify my legitimacy as a Google employee.
Oh my God, are those your dads? Seriously, same-sex partners make excellent parents. I so wish my parents were gay.
When did 20 start to look like 12?
Oh man.
Yes, of course I'll work.
Although, fun fact, if you're a full-time employee, you get the Noogler hat, which looks like this one. If you're an intern, I believe that the hat is a little bit different. So instead of saying Noogler on the front, it says intern. So everyone knows if you did the internship or if you're a full-time employee. Obviously, if you go from an intern to a full-time, then you also get a Noogler hat as well as an intern hat. So also, the person or the company who literally makes these hats, they have a complete monopoly at Google, right? Because all they need to do every single year is just produce their propeller hats, and Google just pay them for, I don't know how many ever 1,000 employees start each year. So damn, that is a company that is probably going to do well throughout, as long as Google keeps hiring. Just make the propeller hats and sell them to Google. Well, winning business combination, huh?
I am head of the Google Intern Program. Welcome to Google. This will not be your average internship. Oh no. You will do what we do, and we will watch how well you do it.
It is true that they basically do an internship program like this, like in this kind of similar vein to this. However, it's not quite as watched and monitored, at least from what I've heard, as kind of is shown on the film. So if you're thinking of applying for an internship, you're not like monitored and watched 24/7. You basically are hired as an employee for 3 months or so, maybe longer.
What you're going to need is Googliness.
That's a legit thing. They still criterize people on it now. Like Googliness is a thing, and don't ask me what it is because I don't know the exact definition, but it's basically like how they find people who basically they think are the best people in Google based on like some kind of characteristic traits and kind of how you act really. But I guess if that's how they want to find the best people, then Googliness it is.
Nothing funny. Googliness. The intangible stuff that made a search engine into an engine for change.
8th year Googler. You guys are new Googlers, thus you're Nooglers. Okay.
Yep, that's legit what they call them. Says it on the hats, and legit, if you are new to Google, you are a Noogler.
Now, this place is all about community and collaboration, so you'll be working in teams from here on out. All right.
You have 5 minutes. Pick your teams.
You or me?
Oh, now be picky, okay? Play hard to get. Don't be desperate, just be cool, okay?
Been here at the Goog for 4 years, working on 7 projects and este momento.
Wow, 7 projects.
Hey, they ask and I do's it. What can I say? I'm a people pleaser, special.
I love the fact that this guy is in this film, like, as the kind of like nerd character, and also is in Silicon Valley and plays like almost an exact replica of the character that he plays here. And Silicon Valley is like a tech show that's on like HBO and Sky and stuff like that. it's just so funny how his role in Silicon Valley as Big Head is literally like almost identical to how he's portrayed in this film. Yeah, it's hilarious.
The ladies, my Mercedes. So it's all good in Lyle's hood, you heard?
Yeah, is Lyle always gonna be referring to himself in the third person? Because if he is, I might want to punch Lyle in the face.
Okay, tough but fair, good note. Lyle's still a little nervous. Who's next?
My name is Yo-Yo Santos.
Yo-Yo, how about a high five? Whoa. Yo-Yo, I'm easy, buddy. I come in peace.
Yo-Yo, did you get beat up a lot in school?
I was homeschooled by my mom.
Did you get beat up a lot in homeschool?
Well, discipline is a very important part of growth. But my mother was actually a very nurturing person. For example, she provided me selflessly with the milk of her bosom until I was 7 years old.
I don't even know how to react to this as a Google employee or as like a human, but yeah, fair enough. Fair enough to this guy.
So it's like you're tying your shoe, you're climbing trees, you're blowing up fireworks, and then you're right on mom. You got mouth on mom.
Breastfeeding leads to a higher IQ.
Okay.
Well, actually, the science isn't quite definitive on that. I was bottle fed, it never slowed me down. Vitamins are vitamins, whether they come from a teat or a baba.
Wrong.
Sorry, what was that?
Wrong. The teat or baba thing, it's wrong. I just Googled it.
But I don't necessarily think, though, that you should still be fed from the teat until 7. I don't actually know when the time of probably stopping doing that is, but maybe like 18 months, 2 years. But 7 years does seem to be quite a long time.
So you're
yeah.
wrong. Oh, yeah, Stuart.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Stu. You know you can't trust everything you read on the
Journal of the American Medical Association. Sounds pretty trustworthy. Says that breast milk has more nutrients and that those nutrients are more easily digested and absorbed. Your confusion's understandable, though. You were bottle fed.
He's right.
Oh, brutal. Apply cold water to that burn.
That's right.
Whoa, guys, where's all this hostility coming from?
Where do you think it's coming from, you big tree? 2/5 of our team are made up of 2 old guys who don't know shit.
All right, Team Lyle. No, okay, we'll workshop that. It's in beta. Okie doke.
Just like Google Cloud Print was for 10 years. Ooh. Shh. Don't tell anyone.
Translate lectures in 15 minutes.
The first of several challenges through which your team will show their merits. While internally dogfooding a new product, a number of Googlers reported a bug that disabled their audio.
This is like a really good thing, fun fact actually. Basically, every product that you see from a public perspective has been what Google call dog fooded internally. So whether that's a bit of software, whether that's a new product, one of the best things about working for Google is you get to try out all the new stuff, all the new features, like 6, 12, 18 months before they're released to the public. So that is definitely true, and that is really, really cool thing that they do.
Maybe it's something with bug.
Eureka!
Bug like fly. The fly. Is Chetty a cinephile?
Gold.
It's like when you have a technical and a non-technical person in the room and they're both trying to solve a challenge. But I give credit to them, to be fair, they're trying.
Goldblum! Boggles my mind that no one has a notebook out. You guys are focused on writing this gibberish. Maybe that's helpful, maybe it's not, but I guarantee you what we're saying is helpful.
Guys, we're looking for a bug, not a password.
Which reminds me of like a clip actually that I saw recently of someone who was saying like, is the virus from China gonna translate into like computer viruses and like affect computers? And then I saw the clip on TV of the guy who was just like,
different things.
Keep going with that human connection you had.
Let's go positive. Let's not carry the radar.
Stay positive. Stay positive. Go.
We're gonna go on fly because that's where we're at, and we're flying it. We're right there.
Fly. I like that.
Around it. The YOF. And it's word scramble. It's life. For some reason, I can't get fly out of my mind, and now I'm going Lopez. Jennifer Lopez. Is it a fly girl?
Superfly. Pop fly.
McFly.
Excavation. Earthquakes. California.
That's it. Write that down. Do it. Do it.
Where?
Write it down, but
Where?
type it in.
What am I doing?
Please stop.
No, we're working.
No, we're working.
Yeah, and that's a Sharpie, by the way, genius.
That's my fault. Go ahead, wash that.
Look, guys, I'm sorry, but you're not helping. You're saying a lot of words really fast that mean nothing.
Okay, you said that someone programmed it. That means some person in this building wrote that code.
Yeah, I actually think it's a great idea.
Good, great.
Finally.
Dark and stormy, feeling us.
Yeah, no, feeling you big time, buddy.
Terrific.
You know what? In fact, why don't the 2 of you guys right now go and find the programmer?
Great idea. Yo, who's our man?
His name is Charles Xavier.
Charles Xavier.
Perfect. Nick, write this down.
Steel trap.
He's a professor. At Stanford. Yeah, just a few minutes away, really.
Guys. And he's in a wheelchair.
Got it. Stanford, wheelchair. What else?
Oh, he's bald.
Might be with his best friend who wears a metal helmet.
He looks like a geneticist.
More. Come on, hit us.
Has a British accent.
British? Meyer, we're done.
Okay, keep searching. Think fly, think bug. I promise you somehow this intersects with Goldblum.
Billy.
Let's get a move on.
All right, back to work, guys.
Professor Charles Xavier?
Very funny.
British. Listen, Professor Xavier, sorry to bother you. If we could just talk to you for a
Gentlemen, I don't have time for this.
Okay, Professor Xavier, we know that it's you, and listen, we really need your help.
All right, you found me out. I am Charles Xavier. And that's Cyclops and Rogue. We're all here. Now, come closer. I want to share some of my telekinetic wisdom with you.
I want you to share with me because I want to know about these bugs.
Assholes!
Oh, you nautical monster!
Professor Xavier's a total dick!
Oh, these nap pods. Yeah, they do actually have them in Google. These nap pods are so good. I'm like a major napper, so any opportunity to nap, I'll take it. And these nap pods are, yeah, they're pretty like serene is the word that I would give. But yeah, there's loads of them dotted around campus.
Oh boy. Time to shut the engines down for a little bit and take a load off, Nikki. Oh boy. What would I do without these babies?
This is a shh.
Hi. Hey. Sorry.
You know, Mr. McMahon, the admissions committee was split on you. You made it by one vote. That deciding member thought you showed promise. It's clear now that he was wrong.
Sometimes the long shots pay off the biggest.
He's obviously still in the first month of the Google Stone, still making the most of the free food, as would I.
Enjoy your pudding.
I do really like these invisible whiteboards though. I've never seen them before. They look pretty cool.
Exactly 1 hour. Now, before you begin,
I'm so ready for this thing. I was up all last night studying. This is where Team Lyle takes the lead.
file icon accessing your account so that we can review your work later. The helpline is open now.
Google Helpline, my name's Billy. How can I help you?
Google Helpline, this is Nick.
Great,
How
so you're
can I
saying that
help
you're
you?
locked out of your Gmail.
I'm gonna play a hunch here. Delete all your cookies. Did that work? Great. Glad I could help.
You know what it is you probably just have...
Just turn it off and turn it off again. Did that work? Yeah, it did. Oh, amazing.
Too many Gmails open at the same time. I want to help you clear that up before the wife gets...
Like, this is a good actually example though of like, you know, having a great kind of like customer service approach to solving problems and actually like being understanding of the user's concerns or the user's needs will land you far better than just trying to solve something in like 2 minutes and then brush it off. So I quite like the scene, it's nice.
Come on, baby, let me hear you do that conga. You know you can't control any longer. Beep, ba-dum-bum.
Oh, you do need to like resonate with the customer. I think there's a really good thing that someone told me about a few years ago, and it's like try and find something in common with everyone. So try and have as much knowledge on as many different topics as possible. So whether it's like football or ballet or dance or music, whatever it is. And so any kind of conversation that you have with any different customer, and I work with loads of different clients who use Google services. If you can try and resonate with them on one thing, whether it's the like Congo or something else, then or like Cuban spots in town or whatever, that will land you in such good stead.
Hands up! So soon? Man, I was just getting warmed up here.
We're going
There's smoke
here.
coming off this thing? Come on, ladybug. Nice.
Please submit your log files so that I may review your work later.
All right.
Happily, just click the blue button.
Where's that at?
Click the blue button, upper left.
Mine's not blue, mine's gray, up in the corner. It's not, I can't click it.
The blue one, yep.
Mine wasn't clicking. Mine's gray. Is anyone else's gray?
Did you not hear my opening remarks?
Yeah, no, I heard most of your opening remarks. It's just I was getting in the zone. I was pre-gaming
It
it.
was very clear that you had to log into your account so that I could review your work later.
Well, the good news is that you reviewed my work now. You don't need the instant replay because you saw the touchdown live in person.
I I don't really understand that analogy, but I do know that attention to detail is of paramount importance here, and my instructions were explicit. Now, if there's no recording, then it's as if you didn't even show up today.
I'm not helping anybody here.
What do you mean you're not helping anybody? You're helping those kids. What are you doing? Where are you going? What, you're gonna go radio silence on me? Come on, I'm not gonna let you ride away from the Garden of Eden. I let down the team, Nick. You didn't let down the team.
The Google bikes are exactly like this. I think they've upgraded them a little bit since, but yeah, it's a very distinct thing. Like on one of the jumpers that I was wearing in the video the other day, of all the coloured bikes. It's a very distinctive part of campus. And to be honest, the Google campus in California is so big that you almost need the bikes to get around, because if you were to walk between meetings, you probably wouldn't necessarily make the meeting on time. You may do, but yeah, the bikes are great.
And who cares if you made a mistake?
Nick, I'm not taking everyone down with me.
Billy, let me turn these high beams on you. Give me a chance to turn you with a sports metaphor.
Damn it, Nick, it's the best thing for everybody. Stop dragging me down with all your horse shit, man. You're doing great here, okay? I'm not. I got it. Just get off my back.
3 weeks later.
Now, today marks not only the end of the week, but the end of the summer's internships. I know. As you can see through these images behind me, it's been quite a journey.
I didn't do the internship program myself, but I know people who have done it, and they do say that it's like literally one of the best summers you can have. So yeah, I would highly recommend doing an internship if you want. And I definitely apply.
A lot of memories, a lot of bonds were made.
This is like a good reflection of actually how it is as well. There's definitely some things that are a bit rogue. Like I don't think that they get you to call people anymore, like handle customer support stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty accurate reflection of how the office culture is, really.
Kind of reminds me of the first time I owned a personal... All right.
No one does that, though.
Today we reveal the intern team that will be awarded jobs here. Sadly, one team has not returned from their final challenge, so therefore I'm forced to calculate the results with their score as an incomplete. We have a victor. And the rules state that every team has the right until the announcement is made to turn in their sales. So, in spite of your lack of punctuality, which is astounding, I have no choice but to accept this submission and to recalculate.
Go ahead. Recalculate. One sale to a small family pizza joint's not going to make a difference anyway.
But that's where you're wrong. It's the small businesses that really you can do the most impact with. Like, that's why I do what I do now. Like, I work with 120 different clients, from really small businesses who are just starting up on Google, and then ones that have been using it for years and years.
Seem that Mr. Hawtrey is correct once again.
Boom.
The sales from one shop on the last challenge are not enough to put you in the lead.
Sorry,
but this is not one shop. You see, this is a blossoming franchise with endless possibilities, thanks to you. And what you have done as a team is connect to people and connect those people to information, which is what we do. And more than that, you had the courage to dream, in spite of your obvious and astonishing limitations. You never gave up on that dream. No. So, gentlemen and lady.
Whoa. Hold on. Chetty, no offense. You're a glorified babysitter. Let's get somebody down here who actually means something.
I'm right here. Please meet Mr. Anderson.
You know this guy?
I should think I do. Andrew here is the head of search. A rather important position here at Google.
Honored. It's an honor.
Look at you, headphones. A little mystery behind the boy.
What? How do you know him?
We were encouraged to reach out to experienced Googlers. Pretty simple, not a big mystery.
To reach out to other Googlers, not just kiss their asses. You see, these interns are smart, collaborative, pretty, thank you, and just weird enough to make them interesting. Also, they came together as a team to do something here. Their googliness is truly off the charts.
Oh my God, can we stop with the googliness? Like, what does that even mean?
The fact that you don't know what it means is why you will never work here. So, welcome to Google.
That's a good example of googliness, though. Like, you know, people just coming together and helping like a really tiny business is better than, you know, the impact that you could have working across 10 other different things. Like, if that business has literally just come online for the first time using Google, then that's a great thing, right? Like, you know, they've now accessed a complete whole new range of customers online that they never saw or had before. So yeah, that concludes my reaction to the Internship film. I think, yeah, if you haven't seen the film, I would highly recommend giving it a watch. It gives like a little taste of what it's like to work at Google. And it's probably, I would say, like about 80-85% accurate. Like the nap pods is true, the bikes is true, the netball court, all the free food, the hats. Like, that is kind of Google culture. So yeah, if you've not watched the film, then 100% recommend doing it. And if you do want to work at Google after watching that film, then I don't know what else will get you to work at Google. So yeah, give it a watch and let me know what you think down in the comments below. Cool. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.